Hi everyone, and Dragon with you. So today we will talk about water teams and Solaris or Tenebris. So when I play both of them, and actually we will see what they can do at max power and my results at current power, which kind of differ. Also, in this video, I'll demonstrate some ideas about timed activation of your totem to improve the effectiveness of what's going on. Let's start from my current power and skins. So Solaris is finally absolute, thanks to event and some luck, I would say. Also, as her skills, we see that we have stun and damage and extra damage depending on which amount is dealt to your titans during those 2 seconds when she accumulates that damage. Also, she buffs the entire team, gaining extra health until the end of the battle, which means you can benefit with her abilities since the battle starts. About her skins, so I moved her to skin level 40 to make her more effective. Her totem adds her attack, that's why in health she can already survive. And as you can see, I have buffs from the balance seal, but I don't have the totem. Actually, I didn't activate, just to show you how it works. And that's her stats. So as you can see, she can survive, but her attack isn't so great. And at the same time, she is okay as buff to your team. About Tenebris. So with Tenebris, my story is a little different. Her skills allow to deal a huge amount of damage, and also I would like to highlight the lifesteal. So the allies recover health up to 16% of any damage dealt to the cursed target, which means if you fight earth or fire, you will probably be able to lifesteal from them, and that helps a lot. But when you fight enemy Sigurd, that can be blocked. And the second ability allows you to get 5% of basic attack and health. So if you lose 2 titans, then the buff is already more than Solaris offers. And the more you lose, the more powerful you are. That's it. So as for Tenebris, her health isn't so great, but she has more attack, and you see that only 5 stars for now, and still she can play. Still she can play. Okay, so let's talk about artifacts and skins. Same situation, so artifact seal is max here. I can activate it, but I did not, to show you how she works without the totem. And also 40 skin and maximum level. So that's the situation with my titans, which I will talk about today. First of all, I would like to share the testing at max power, just for disclaimers. So we have a typical defensive team of water. I didn't have serious trouble fighting earth or fighting fire with new titans. That's why today we'll focus on water. So if you play a team with Tenebris and water, then I offer to try a timed out activation. What I'm talking about is you don't throw the totem right away. Instead, you wait some time till the enemy loses immunity. That's the idea. During the time, you may be stunned by enemy Nova, and also you see that it happened to me as well. So the idea is to try to charge your totem with the titans you can activate, and when the immunity is lost, you activate and you use Tenebris. So what happens now is a huge amount of damage output. Also, the totem drills enemy ignoring Sigurd. So that's how I remove enemy Nova to avoid stuns in the future, which will stop my Super Titans to work. But at the same time, the problem is you need to remove Sigurd. And as you can see, during some time, immunity was on. So first of all, never smash this ability into enemy immunity. Even if you do it, then just deal some damage when it's gone, okay? But I hope that with good timing, life still works and you get a buff. So that's what happened. I managed to win this fight with a timed out activation, but I would like to highlight that this thing works not every time. And as a result of activating at once, you will see another result. So my feelings about what's going on here is like I play Araji, but instead of dealing not effective fire versus earth versus water damage, we have dark damage, which isn't blocked at all. The second advantage of playing Tenebris here is you just need to throw the activation. So if she gets stunned during the effect, that will still work. That's important because Araji can be stunned and that stops working. That's the contrast. That's why I thought, well, I play 4 plus Araji. Why not play 4 plus Tenebris? And the answer is, well, you can do it actually, but you need to catch the correct timing. So if you manage to remove Sigurd, then this ability is thrown to the next target and this effect goes on. You see that now Tenebris managed to remove 2 enemy titans, but at this, even 3, yes, but at the same time, you can't guarantee victory here, unfortunately. If we play Solaris, then the situation looks kind of similar, but you don't need to catch exact timing. Instead, you just see when Araji is burning, he is drilling you, so you can use either Nova or Solaris to stop him from doing that. And if you use Solaris, you also accumulate damage and throw it back into the opponent. The problem with Solaris here is you still need to remove that annoying Sigurd. And before it happens, your entire team may be trying hard to remove him and failing. So the only character who can do something with the enemy backline is Solaris at endgame and Nova at first part of the fight, usually. So while she is alive, she also can deal damage to the backline. Then you have help from Hyperion as well. So Hyperion also activates sometime after. And in the end, you have 2 characters which can break the enemy backline, which is good. But at the same time, enemy Sigurd is still alive, as you can see. So the general idea is this team can break the enemy backline, but sometimes is stuck at frontline. What happens if I play Solaris like this? So this time I waited with activation of my totem. I collected more percentage and managed to do charge at high percentage, which helped me to survive and drill the enemy lines. So with this approach, as you can see, we managed to stun the opponent, but still we lost. So as far as I see, Solaris versus Water isn't a good option, unfortunately or fortunately, but it's much better against fire. What about when your opponent plays 4 plus Eden? So here comes the Eden random. So Eden random is a typical phenomena which happens usually. So I'm not sure if I can send, for example, Water team versus Water plus Eden because it all depends on Eden random. And look what happens. So once again, I just waited some times and tried to activate my ability and almost did it, but what happens next? You see that we managed to break the front line, which means now Tenebris will just remove the enemy front to back, and the amount of damage is impressive. So as you can see, she easily goes through all the defenses because nothing is helping against her dark damage here, and that results into a great victory. So against this fight was great. But what if we try to activate instantly, and what if we get another Eden random? So I'll show you that it still can be defeated. And during this week, I had some crazy victories and defeats as well, which I will show you right after. First of all, let's see what happens here. We managed to break the front line. Then we start to break the back line, but almost all my team is dead. And as you can see, we didn't have enough time to finish that. So I cannot guarantee victory with Tenebris in both cases. About Solaris, well, that also depends. So if you manage to catch a good timing and good dig from the opponent, then you have a chance to win actually. For example, if you manage Solaris to stop enemy Adam from throwing the stone, that kind of works and helps you a lot. But in case of good dig from enemy Eden, you may have trouble. So this time you see that Eden managed to remove Solaris and she didn't stun, so we have defeat here. And the last test, so Solaris again. This time I used timed out activation. And with timed out activation, you see that I managed to drill the enemy Nova with my totem. Also frontline is done. And that's how I break through. So with Solaris, sometimes you can also win this team, but no guarantee. So actually, the problem looks pretty same to what we had before. If you play Eden or Araji, then there's still a chance that enemy Eden will do something crazy and you can lose. Or enemy Sigurd will throw his immunity and as well you can't win. So let me show you real fights which I prepared for you, and actually you saw my power, so I'm not maxed, but at the same time I managed to remove some maxed out teams, or almost maxed, and that was pretty nice. So let's start from the previous week against Kill Army. We have the second fight where I fought Toby, and as you can see, to fight Earth, I just pick my Araji. That's the best choice. So a real fast demonstration of how it works with Araji and why I pick him against Earth. Your idea is just not to let your Araji drill into enemy totem, and you need to remove his totem with your own. That's the idea. So if you are lucky enough, that works. If not, well, you still have a chance not to activate too hard when enemy totem is on. When it's gone, as you can see, I can start activating and remove some enemy forces. So that looks like a solid victory anyway. But when the totem is on, you need to wait. Remember to wait, not to get wasted. Another example against Twister. So here we have double Earth as well. And, well, what I wanted to say here. Actually, I also played Araji and that was successful. You see that my power is less, but it doesn't mean anything because we still have same victory here. And actually, as you can see, there was a hybrid team. So hybrid teams have more damage, which means you need to survive. And at the same time, they have less powerful totem. So same thing happened. I wait till enemy throws the totem anyway, so this time I activate anyway. After that I throw mine and hope that Araji is healed better than deals damage to himself. After that, you see that it kind of didn't work, but my buffed totem managed to drill the enemy team. And finally, after it happened, the next activation is delayed, and we are able to deal huge amount of damage. And yes, that's a hard victory, but I managed to win, so it kind of works. So the first thing I wanted to highlight, when you fight fire, Araji, I mean, and water against earth, then it's okay. If you fight water versus water, well, it's not as great. But we'll go to that a bit later. Let's see what I do with fire. So to show you fights with fire, I'll go to anti-COVID. Now it's Phoenix, so they're renamed. And I'll show you the second fight here. So that's the second fight. Sorry. I mean, let's see this one first. And then we'll talk about water. So here we have the second fight where I tried to play against enemy fire team. Here we go. So I fought Claudia, and she had a powerful typical team which can break water plus Araji. And as you can see, this time I used Solaris. So if you face the team of fire, I really recommend you to use Solaris because she helps you to survive. That's the buff she gives to your team, which means you are not as vulnerable to the enemy totem and damage. fire teams are great at damage, but not so great at health. And that's actually what happens. So Solaris blocks the enemy. She also gains damage and throws it back. And you can break the enemy fire without serious trouble. Another example against fire I'll show you at Raiders. So Raiders this week, I fought Nyx. Let's see where it is. So that's my fight. You see that Nyx also has a solid team, and he plays a hybrid version of fire plus both super titans, which means he gets even more damage against me. And let's see what happens. So as you can see, this time we have even more damage output from the opponent. He plays Eden, so that will not be easy for me because extra effective damage isn't so good. But at the same time, with Solaris' help, we managed to survive, except Nova, and strike back. That's it. So Solaris is great at fighting against fire. That's the idea number 2. And finally, the third one, which I wanted to show you, is actually when I fight water versus water. So water versus water, we have many examples, but I would like to highlight only some of them. So first of all, let's go back to anti-COVID and check my fight against Pierre. So Pierre this time used water plus double light, and also his totem is maxed. And I play Solaris here as water plus Solaris. So I didn't have the totem and still I managed to win. So I would like to highlight that it's not guaranteed. Sometimes you may lose, but at any point I managed to get nice points and he had 1 or 2 titans left. Also, I have timed out activation idea, same as I showed you. So I try to collect more charge first with my titans. After enemy frontline doesn't have immunity, I go to my totem. Great stun from my Solaris. As you can see, we broke half of enemy team almost with that stun. And now enemy has Nova, so I can't remove anybody here. At the same time, we are still able to stun them soon. But we will get stunned as well. So check this out. Nova activated, and now the enemy has super slow totems. So that's my advantage. Actually, the stun is main advantage of my team when I try to fight Pierre, and that worked. So a huge amount of power difference, and still I'm able to remove him. Another example which I wanted to highlight was, I guess, this week. So let's see what happened. So anti-COVID became Phoenix now. And here, same situation happened. I will not show you, but exactly the same. So Solaris +4 can beat double totem. Seems good. Also about Albert. So Albert plays 4 plus Araji. And this time I managed to fight with Tenebris. And the paradox is after I made Tenebris more powerful, I started losing. So the timing changed, and that resulted into immunity, which is here. And as a result, I can't win. So anyway, let's see what happens. So first of all, I get my immunity, then I wait till enemy immunity is gone. And after that, I throw my activations straight to remove Sigurd. So here we go. Now I wanted extra charge. So at 175, it's okay to activate. And check this out. So now I started damaging enemy Sigurd, but he has a lot of health, which means he has a chance to get another immunity. Here we go. So I removed a huge amount of health, but immunity is still here. So we need to finish him anyway. After that, we just had another activation. And as you can see, again, we have immunity on Sigurd. So I thought actually I'll lose this fight. But somehow from third try, I managed to remove that annoying Sigurd. Here we go. So Tenebris is alone, but managed to kill last Titan. So that's the glory of Tenebris number 1. Now against Twister again. So against Twister, I fought 2 times. We have Cornelius and we have Mizuchi. And you see that I managed to win one fight but lost another. So here we have another example of Eden this time. So against Eden, that's unpredictable. Eden can dig down one of 5 titans. Depending on his choice, you can lose or win. So as you can see, this time we managed to go through the front line, which is good. But at the same time, looks like we're out of health. And when enemy Eden strikes, then only to keep alive. And yes, as you remember, my Tenebris doesn't have high health, which means I'm vulnerable. So now, without totem, I'm vulnerable, Tenebris didn't survive, and I lost. But against Mizuchi with some less power, I managed to win just because another dig was done. So check this out. Look at this dig. So enemy Eden tried to dig down my Sigurd, which resulted into useless act, and as a result I didn't lose the potential power, right, and broke the enemy line pretty fast. So a bad dig from Eden can change all the game. As you can see, I have 3 alive and feel pretty great here. Against Kill Army, we had also an example where I tried to play, and look at this. So I managed to win a new maxed water team. 871,000 power. And I managed to win against Eden. So what happened? You would ask. Probably Eden's random again. And this time, well, everything went well for me. Once again, bad dig means defeat. And exactly what happened here. So if your Eden goes crazy and tries to dig down immunity, then you are in trouble, just like Fly Girl. But after that, my testing went not so good. So against Peter, we had another story and he managed to remove me. After that, I tried to get my Tenebris more power. So I proceeded with Nightwolf and Inner Circle. And you see that here we had just a disaster. So against Rob and Big Rob, with less power than you see, I lost both fights. So the first fight, I just didn't go into timing, so made a couple of mistakes with activation, and that's why I'll show you this fight. So here I tried to be careful after first defeat. As you can see, I tried timed out activation again, but maybe my mistake was not waiting till percentage. Now you see that I activate and throw the totem right. What happens next? Look at that. So we start removing Sigurd, he gains immunity, and all my team can do nothing. At the same time, my totem drills Nova and Araji, and we broke the enemy middle line, almost. And here comes the second time. So another immunity, I can't throw into immunity, I need to wait. Now when it's gone, I activate, and here we go. So you saw, just like that. So not enough time to remove Sigurd with that immunity. And same problem happened yesterday against Inner Circle, so I fought against Frank. He also plays a water team, and same thing happened. So I tried hard to remove his Sigurd. Again, timed out activation, but with stuns I wanted more percentage. Maybe that's a mistake. And look at that. So I just didn't get little damage, and as a result he heals back. Second try fails as well. And finally I removed his front line, but it's too late. And that's how I lost. So against Eden you can't guarantee anything. And in both cases where I had a safe victory, the enemy Eden tried to dig my Sigurd and instead digged his own team. So the conclusion. Now I don't see any option which is effective against water and gives you 100% victory. At the same time, it is possible to win with some good random and with careful control, I would say. So, in general, if you see Fire Team, I really recommend you Solaris. If you see Earth Team, try Araji. And if you see Water Team, well, you can try Tenebris, because you need to catch the right timing, break the front line, and break the entire enemy team. With Solaris, I guess it's hard. So I hope my ideas can help you at Guild War and at the next event, which is about skins for Titans. Check that out and choose which Titan you need. Thank you for watching, see you in my next videos, and good luck to you.